Hidden beneath layers of time are photos so shocking they could rewrite what we believe about ancient history. What if the Bible wasn't just a book, but a map to real, documented events? These images will shake your faith or confirm it. Join us and let's go.
Number 13. The Garden Tomb. Recent archaeological discoveries beneath Jerusalem's Church of the Holy Sepulchre have revealed a 2,000-year-old garden that directly supports John 19:41's description of Jesus' burial location. Professor Francesca Romana Stasola's excavations uncovered remnants of olive trees, grapevines, and cultivated fields, providing physical evidence for the Gospel's claim that in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden. Archaeobotanical analysis of soil samples confirms ancient agricultural activity, including irrigation systems and cultivation terraces typical of first-century Palestinian gardens. The discovery includes pottery fragments, oil lamps, and ancient walls that date to the Roman period, supporting the site's antiquity. While the garden tomb itself remains a subject of scholarly debate, these garden remains provide crucial context for understanding burial practices in ancient Jerusalem. The presence of cultivated land near crucifixion sites aligns with Roman customs of locating execution areas outside city walls in areas designated for gardens and burial grounds. Archaeological evidence shows the garden was actively maintained during the 1st century CE with specialized agricultural installations for olive oil and wine production. The site's topographical features match biblical descriptions of elevated areas outside Jerusalem's walls where public executions occurred. Recent discoveries of ancient cisterns and water channels demonstrate the garden's sophisticated irrigation system, necessary for year-round cultivation in Jerusalem's arid climate.
Number 12. Pharaoh's Chariot Wheels. Deep beneath the Red Sea's crystal waters near Nuweiba Beach lies one of archaeology's most extraordinary discoveries. Explorer Ron Wyatt documented coral-encrusted chariot wheels dating back 3,500 years, perfectly matching Egypt's 18th dynasty period during Moses' era. These underwater artifacts feature distinctive 4-, 6-, and 8-spoke designs characteristic of ancient Egyptian military chariots. Video footage reveals scattered wheel components, horse bones, and human skeletal remains covering the seabed like a vast underwater battlefield. The coral formations have naturally preserved these ancient relics, creating an eerie museum beneath the waves. Wyatt's team also identified an underwater land bridge, stretching nearly 200 yards wide, plunging 900 feet deep, a natural causeway that could explain the biblical account of parted waters. Marine archaeologists have confirmed the authenticity of these findings, noting the wheel's construction methods and materials consistent with Exodus 14's dramatic narrative. The discovery includes bronze wheel hubs, wooden spokes fragments, and leather harness pieces, all pointing to a catastrophic military disaster.
I have a question for you. First, I would like to say that it is possible to follow the greatest curiosities of our world every day. But to do so, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So, are you already subscribed? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Also, take the opportunity to like the video so YouTube will recommend more videos from our channel. So leave your like right now. And now that you have done that, let's go!
Number 11. The Pool of Bethesda. Jerusalem's Pool of Bethesda emerges as one of archaeology's most precise biblical confirmations, located exactly where John 5:2 describes it, near the Sheep Gate with 5 covered porticos. 19th century excavations by Conrad Schick revealed a massive 2-part pool complex matching the Gospel's detailed description with stunning accuracy. The archaeological site features 2 adjacent pools separated by a central dam surrounded by 5 covered colonnades exactly as the biblical text specifies. The southern pool's broad steps and multiple landings indicate it functioned as a mikveh, a Jewish ritual bath designed for simultaneous use by many people seeking purification. The northern pool served as a freshwater reservoir, continuously replenishing clean water through sophisticated Roman engineering.
Archaeological evidence shows the site was indeed associated with healing, as nearby excavations uncovered Roman and Byzantine structures, including a temple dedicated to Asclepius, the Greek god of healing. The pool's design allowed for the water circulation that Gospel accounts describe as having healing properties when stirred. Pottery fragments and coins found at the site date its active use to the 1st century CE, precisely when Jesus would have performed the miracle described in John's Gospel. The discovery validates not only the existence of this specific location, but also the detailed topographical knowledge displayed by the Gospel writer.
Number 10. Noah's Ark Formation on Mount Ararat. Turkey's Mount Ararat hosts one of biblical archaeology's most compelling mysteries, the Dura Punar Formation. This 538-foot boat-shaped geological structure matches Noah's Ark's biblical dimensions with startling precision. Ground-penetrating radar scans reveal parallel lines and right angles beneath the surface, features inconsistent with natural rock formations but perfectly aligned with ancient shipbuilding techniques. Soil samples from the site contain marine deposits, clay materials, and fossilized mollusk remains, indicating the formation was once submerged during a massive flood event 3,500 to 5,000 years ago. Turkish and American university researchers collaborate on ongoing excavations, discovering what appear to be petrified wooden beams and metal rivets within the structure. The formation's boat-like appearance becomes more pronounced when viewed from aerial photographs, showing clear bow and stern sections with symmetrical sides. Geological analysis reveals the surrounding terrain bears flood markers consistent with catastrophic water events.
Number 9. Mount Sinai's blackened peak in Saudi Arabia. Jabal al-Lawz in northwest Saudi Arabia presents compelling evidence as the true Mount Sinai, challenging traditional Egyptian locations. This mountain's distinctive blackened peak aligns perfectly with Exodus 19:18's description of divine fire consuming the mountaintop. Satellite imagery reveals the mountain's summit appears burned or charred, contrasting sharply with surrounding peaks' natural coloration. Archaeological surveys have discovered numerous petroglyphs depicting cattle and religious symbols near the mountain's base, potentially representing the golden calf incident described in Exodus 32. A 12-pillar stone circle found nearby matches the biblical account of Moses erecting memorial stones. The mountain's geology shows evidence of intense heat exposure that geologists struggle to explain through natural processes alone. Bedouin traditions in the region consistently identify Jabal al-Lawz as the holy mountain where divine revelation occurred. A split rock formation discovered near the mountain's base appears to match the biblical rock of Horeb that provided water for the Israelites during their wilderness wanderings. The site's remote location in the Arabian wilderness corresponds more accurately with biblical descriptions than traditional Sinai Peninsula locations. Recent expeditions have documented extensive ancient camping areas around the mountain's base, potentially supporting the presence of a large population during the Exodus period.
Number 8. The Pool of Gibian. The Pool of Gibian stands as a remarkable testament to biblical historical accuracy and ancient engineering prowess. Located in the village of El Jib in the West Bank, this massive circular excavation measures 37 feet in diameter and plunges 82 feet deep into limestone bedrock. Archaeologist James B. Pritchard's excavations between 1956 and 1962 revealed not only this impressive pool, but also 31 jar handles inscribed with the Hebrew name Gibeon, definitively confirming the site's biblical identity. The pool's sophisticated spiral staircase carved into the bedrock allowed access to water even during dry seasons, demonstrating advanced hydraulic engineering. The site's biblical significance centers on 2 Samuel 2:12-17, which describes the famous battle between David's commander Joab and Saul's general Abner at the Pool of Gibeon. This confrontation, known as the Field of Sharp Swords, marked a crucial moment in David's rise to power over all Israel. Archaeological evidence shows the pool was actively used during the Iron Age, precisely when these biblical events would have occurred. The pool's strategic importance as a reliable water source made it a natural gathering place for military forces and diplomatic meetings. Recent studies have revealed additional water installations around the pool, including tunnels and cisterns that supported a substantial population. The site's preservation allows visitors to descend the ancient staircase and experience the same location where biblical heroes once fought.
Number 7.
Sodom and Gomorrah. Excavations at Tal El Hammam in Jordan's Dead Sea region have unveiled catastrophic destruction, evidence that aligns remarkably with Genesis accounts of Sodom and Gomorrah's fiery end. Archaeological layers reveal intense heat damage, collapsed buildings, and unusually high concentrations of salt and sulfur throughout the ancient city. The destruction layer dates to approximately 1750 to 1650 BCE, consistent with biblical chronology for Abraham's era. Scientists propose a cosmic airburst event, similar to the 1908 Tunguska explosion, could explain the sudden, complete devastation found at the site. This cosmic impact theory accounts for the melted pottery, twisted metal objects, and glass-like materials discovered in the ruins. The destruction pattern shows buildings were flattened instantly, with walls collapsed in the same direction, indicating a massive shockwave. High temperature markers throughout the site suggest temperatures exceeded 2,400 degrees Celsius, far beyond what normal fires could produce. Sulfur balls found embedded in the destruction layer contain pure sulfur, matching the biblical description of fire and brimstone raining from heaven.
Number 6. The House of Peter in Capernaum. The House of Peter in Capernaum represents one of biblical archaeology's most emotionally powerful discoveries, offering potential direct connection to Jesus and his closest disciples. Excavated beneath a 5th century octagonal Byzantine church, archaeologists uncovered a simple 1st century dwelling that transformed into one of Christianity's earliest house churches. This modest structure, typical of Roman period homes with small rooms clustered around courtyards, featured walls of rough stone and earthen roofs. What makes this site extraordinary is its post-resurrection history. Around 50 years after Jesus' time, the main room received special treatment with plaster covering from floor to ceiling, an unusual feature that transformed it from ordinary residence into communal gathering space. Hundreds of inscriptions in Greek, Syriac, Hebrew, and Latin were scratched into these walls, many invoking Jesus' name and containing prayers, suggesting this location became an early Christian pilgrimage destination. The inscriptions' languages reflect the diverse early Christian community that gathered here, representing different ethnic and cultural backgrounds united by faith. Archaeological evidence shows the building continued serving as a church through several centuries, with successive renovations and expansions. The site's identification as Peter's house relies on Byzantine-era traditions and the building's unique transformation from private residence to public worship space. Recent analysis of the inscriptions has revealed previously unknown early Christian prayers and symbols, providing insights into primitive Christian worship practices.
Number 5. The Pool of Siloam. Jerusalem's Pool of Siloam, rediscovered in 2004, offers extraordinary confirmation of New Testament accounts. This massive trapezoidal pool, measuring 225 feet wide, served as a ritual bath for Jewish pilgrims during Jesus' time. Archaeologists Eli Shokron and Ronnie Reich uncovered stone steps designed to accommodate fluctuating water levels, confirming its use for religious purification ceremonies. The pool's significance extends beyond archaeology to direct biblical connection through John 9, 1-11, where Jesus heals a blind man by instructing him to wash in Siloam's waters. Coins and pottery fragments discovered at the site date the pool's construction to the mid-1st century BCE, perfectly aligning with the biblical timeline. The pool's sophisticated engineering includes channels and aqueducts that brought fresh water from the Gihon Spring through Hezekiah's tunnel. Recent excavations have revealed the pool was much larger than previously thought, capable of accommodating hundreds of pilgrims simultaneously. The Hebrew name Siloam means sent, which Jesus references in John's Gospel, connecting the site's name to its spiritual significance. Archaeological evidence shows the pool remained in active use through the Second Temple period, supporting its role in Jewish religious practice during Jesus' ministry. Number 4. The Pillar of Salt. Standing majestically near the Dead Sea's southeastern shore rises a haunting 700-foot salt column known locally as the Pillar of Salt. This striking natural formation bears an uncanny resemblance to a human figure looking backward, exactly matching Genesis 19:26's description of Lot's wife being transformed into salt for disobeying divine commands. Mount Sodom's massive salt deposits formed over millennia through geological processes, but this particular pillar's human-like silhouette has captivated visitors for centuries. First-century historian Josephus documented seeing this exact pillar, lending historical credibility to its ancient origins. Israeli researchers recently discovered the world's longest salt cave system nearby, adding geological significance to the region's biblical connections. The pillar's composition includes ancient salt deposits mixed with clay and minerals, creating layers that tell a story of seismic activity occurring approximately 4,000 years ago. Erosion patterns have carved the formation into an eerily human shape, complete with what appears to be flowing robes and a backward-turned head. Geological surveys confirm the pillar's stability despite constant weathering, suggesting it has maintained its distinctive appearance for millennia.
Number 3. The Ouary of Caiaphas. The Ouary of Caiaphas stands as one of archaeology's most startling confirmations of New Testament historical figures, providing physical evidence for the high priest who played a pivotal role in Jesus' trial and crucifixion. Discovered in 1990 in a tomb near Jerusalem, this ornately decorated limestone burial box bears the inscription, "Joseph, son of Caiaphas," identifying the ossuary's occupant with the biblical high priest known simply as Caiaphas in gospel accounts. Advanced microscopic analysis has confirmed the inscription's authenticity, ruling out modern forgery and establishing the artifact's genuine ancient origins. Inside the ossuary, archaeologists found bones belonging to 6 individuals, including an elderly male approximately 60 years old at death, believed to be Caiaphas himself based on the inscription and historical records. The ossuary's elaborate decoration, with rosettes and floral motifs, indicates the high social status appropriate for Jerusalem's chief religious authority. A second ossuary, discovered in the same tomb, bears an inscription mentioning Miriam, daughter of Yeshua, son of Caiaphas, providing additional evidence of this priestly family's prominence in first-century Judea. The tomb's location in Jerusalem's affluent area reflects the high priest's wealth and social position described in New Testament accounts. Historical records show Caiaphas served as high priest from 18 to 36 CE, precisely covering the period of Jesus' ministry and crucifixion.
Number 2. The Walls of Jericho. Archaeological excavations at ancient Jericho have uncovered remarkable evidence supporting Joshua 6 account of walls collapsing after 7 days of marching. German archaeologists first discovered massive stone retaining walls topped with mud brick fortifications that once protected the city. Later excavations by John Garstang and Kathleen Kenyon revealed these walls had indeed collapsed outward, exactly matching the biblical description of walls falling down rather than inward as typical siege warfare would produce. The collapsed mud brick debris created natural ramps that attackers could use to enter the city, precisely as Joshua's account describes. Evidence of massive destruction by fire covers the entire archaeological site, supporting the biblical narrative of Jericho being burned after conquest. Carbon dating of burned grain found in storage jars indicates the city's destruction occurred during harvest season, consistent with the biblical timeline. The wall's collapse pattern suggests sudden, simultaneous failure rather than gradual deterioration from siege warfare. Archaeological layers showed the city was fully stocked with food when destroyed, contradicting typical siege scenarios where inhabitants would consume all provisions. Dr. Bryant Wood's detailed stratigraphic analysis confirms the destruction layers correspond to the late Bronze Age period when Joshua's conquest would have occurred.
Number 1. The City of David's Royal Foundations. Archaeological excavations in Jerusalem's City of David have uncovered extraordinary ritual structures dating to the First Temple period, providing rare evidence of pre-temple worship practices mentioned in the Bible. The recently discovered complex includes 8 rock-hewn rooms featuring oil presses, wine presses, an altar with drainage channels, and a large standing stone, all indicating sophisticated religious activity.
Lead archaeologist Eli Shukran suggests this site represents worship practices that existed before King Hezekiah's religious reforms centralized all worship at the Temple Mount. Chemical analysis of altar residues reveals traces of burnt offerings consistent with biblical descriptions of early Israelite worship. The discovery of Hebrew-inscribed jars, scarabs, and ritual vessels in nearby caves anchors the site firmly in the biblical era. Monumental Iron Age structures include defensive walls and gates that align with biblical accounts of King David's fortified capital. The famous Siloam tunnel, carved through solid rock to bring water into the city, matches biblical descriptions of King Hezekiah's preparations for Assyrian siege. Recent discoveries of a massive moat system surrounding the ancient city demonstrate the sophisticated defensive measures described in biblical accounts of Jerusalem's protection. The site's continuous occupation layers provide archaeological evidence spanning from the Jebusite period through the Babylonian destruction, matching biblical chronology.
Now I have a special recommendation for you. Are you seeing this video that is appearing on the screen? Click on it because I'm sure you'll like it. Well, that's it, and until next time, Curious One.